getting expert ideas on easy meal planning from Chef Marshall O'Brien, founder of Healthy Kids Living. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning, Karen. Thanks for having me back.
We're obviously talking about fish, and you say it all starts with picking it out, and that it's important to teach kids where their food comes from, because I was talking about the fish here, still looking like the full fish.
And that's okay.
The eyes and the fins and everything, but you say, you know what, that's a great way to get kids started, not on the fish sticks, but let's show them the actual fish.
And fish sticks aren't wrong, but if we can show them, hey, here's a whole fish, here's a fish fillet, which is the side of the fish, or we have a fish steak, which is a cross section, and if it's a big fish like a tuna or a swordfish, it's going to be a part of the fish. But if we can get kids recognizing where the food comes from and that it was a real living, breathing thing, you don't have to get all philosophical with it, but just have an awareness. Then when they have fish sticks later on, then they'll go, oh, this is fish in a different form, not that a fish stick is fish.
Well, and I think it's important for everybody to recognize where their food comes from and what the animal it is that they're in fact eating. All right.
Definitely.
But you know, cooking fish is a different story. A lot of people avoid it. It can be tricky sometimes. I know we're kind of, you know, we're on the fence, and I'm kind of a fish sticks gal because
that's
my kids like.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
But you can help us out here.
I sure can. Now, there's nothing wrong with wearing rubber gloves, and sometimes I'll do that when I'm working with fish. But when you pick fresh fish, smell it.
Because that's what I said when I got up here. I said, you know what? It doesn't stink. It doesn't smell. And it doesn't smell at all. And I don't like the smell of fish. So that was a great thing.
Yes. And when it smells like, whether it's freshwater fish like the trout, if it smells like the lake or a clean lake and it smells fresh, or if it's a saltwater fish and it smells like the sea, and it doesn't offend you, you know you're on the right track.
If it's just too strong. I mean, it's going to have a slight smell. It is what it is. But when you walk in a room and you're like, whoa, I can smell that from here. That's not good.
A great example of a not so fresh fish. The second piece you want to feel is the feel. How does it feel? Go ahead. Just now.
I did.
To wash your hands. Hey, I wasn't expecting you to touch it, but that's great. So you got to make sure that it's a firm flesh, and then you also want to, you take a look at it. Like on a whole fish, the eyes are clear, the skin is shiny, the meat doesn't look slimy.
Is that why they leave the eyes on sometimes, just so they show you they're clear? Is that a good way then to?
It helps just preserve it longer.
Okay. All right.
And the garnishes and all that look really fancy.
Yes, they do.
Now, when it comes to cooking fish, we're going to take a big fillet, and if you want to cook this and have a couple pieces of fish for the week, this is an awesome recipe. This is my Mediterranean salmon, and you can get it on the website. But we take some chopped tomatoes. And you can I use grape tomatoes. You can use cherry tomatoes. You can just chop up tomatoes, some fresh parsley. I measured it out. I'm not a recipe guy, but you can just put all this stuff right on there. We'll take some feta cheese. And we're going to put it on there. Now, in general, when you're cooking fresh fish, or fish that is thawed, and it's okay to get frozen fish, but if you're having fish, you want to make sure, general rule of thumb, when you bake it at a 350-degree oven, that it's about 10 minutes per inch thickness.
Okay.
Now this is a different situation because we're going to take some fresh lemon. This is a different situation because we're going to wrap this up.
A little salt?
I'm not going to use salt because we have the Kalamata olives and the feta cheese.
Which is enough of the flavor,
And I'm glad you brought that up. Those bring the natural.
I do tend to go towards salt.
Well, but you get the salt from those, and also the lemon juice that I squeezed in adds some fresh flavor as well, and adds a salt alternative. So we wrapped all that up. We're going to bake this in the oven for 35 minutes, maybe a little less, because that is a sort of small piece. And thanks to TV magic, we'll have a finished one. And I want to show you also, this might look ambitious, and I don't want people to get to stress out about this. This is really easy to do. Don't touch hot pans.
And is this a recipe that you think kids would like?
I think so, because you've got. Well, check this out.
Okay, let's.
Wow, does that look beautiful?
It does. It does. It looks.
And
great.
I think kids will like it because most kids like cheese, and that's an easy way to get kids liking cheese. And if I'm really good, I can scoop this off just like this, and then put it on a platter. If you want to pre-portion, there we go. There we go. If you want to pre-portion that, meaning cut it into 4 pieces, that's fine too. But now we've got this gorgeous, beautiful Mediterranean fish. It was really easy to make. I want to show you real quick what a simple fillet can be. And this is just salt, pepper, and olive oil.
All of this is really simple.
It's very simple. It's the biggest thing that you alluded to before is the confidence piece. If you're not familiar with eating fish like this, and you're concerned about ruining it, because you know what, fish is pricier compared to chicken or beef.
And I noticed when you scooped that off, the skin just kind of fell off
Yep,
there.
the skin came
So
off.
if it's cooked right, that probably should happen, huh?
It all depends. Like because of this, absolutely. If you're grilling it, a little fun thing you can do is when you grill fish and you cook the skin on the meat just like we did, but you can actually get crispy skin and it's really delicious.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. And the asparagus, anything special about that?
Olive oil, salt, and pepper.
That's it?
Yes.
And it's delicious, right?
Yes.
I love asparagus.
Yes, it's very, very simple. So the key things, again, with the fish is it's got to smell good, it has to feel firm, it has to look pretty, it should look, the skin should shine, it shouldn't look slimy, and if you smell it...
I was going to say, there's still no smell, and I think everybody can attest to that in here. There's still no smell. It smells great.
Absolutely, and if you can buy your fish from a counter person, talk to them. Have a conversation. Ask where the fish come from. Ask to smell it. A lot of people, we're not used to doing that because a lot of our fish comes prepackaged because we live in landlocked Minnesota.
Yes, we do.
And that's okay. But if you can get the fish from a counter, talk to them, and then you can get more confidence in understanding how to make the most out of your fish.
And the health benefits, obviously,
Absolutely.
are huge. So good thing to work some fish into your diet instead of the fish pills, huh?
Yeah.
Fresh
Well, it does
fish,
have
always
that, yes.
better. All right. Well, thank you so much. And you can look for Chef O'Brien's recipes later today on myfox9.com or go to his website, chefmarshallobrien.com/cookingfish.